Hey everybody, welcome back to not more early morning barking, but an update on the channel and the videos and everything, including me, right? I've had a week off, I've not done anything for a little while, but just some personal stuff, which I have talked about on my last videos. We don't need to go over that again. It's all fine, everything's good, don't worry, don't panic, you know, all that sort of thing. And so I needed a bit of time off to sort of clear my head and get right and straighten up and fly right and all of that kind of thing. So we're all good. Things are back now. Everything's fine. Everybody's fine here. How are you? It's all good. And so I thought I'd tell you what I've been, thinking about, what I've been doing and where I am with the channel and stuff like that, because things can't go on as they have been. Now, this isn't an announcement of the end of anything or anything like that. Don't panic. Nothing so dramatic or anything like that. But truthfully, no, things can't go on as they have been. As I get better, or as I stay in remission, especially more so with the BPD stuff and that sort of thing, I move further away from it, and it's becoming harder and harder to get in touch with the sort of the feelings of it all. I don't feel those things so much anymore because I'm getting better, right? I've done the therapy, I've done the work, I'm getting better, and I don't have this day-to-day struggle with BPD that I used to have anymore. Nothing like it at all. Yeah, there are ups and downs in life because there are ups and downs in everybody's life. That's fine. And sometimes, I need to take a week off and deal with stuff. But this is all good. This is all fine. It's a normal part of life, and it's all just being dealt with. It's all just something I get on with now. And so making videos about how this thing hurts, how it makes you feel miserable, all of this, well, that's perfectly true, valid stuff. It's not something that I can speak to from present experience much anymore. It's kind of just going away and fading into the background and becoming a memory, and a hazy one at that, because that's generally how memories work. And so I can't go on making videos talking about all that stuff. I've done it. I've said it all. I talked about it when I was going through it, and those videos are still there, and they're as valid now as they were when I made them. Nothing has changed. Fear of abandonment still feels like that, and I've got nothing else to say about it. And the same goes for a lot of other stuff. But that doesn't mean I want to stop. And it doesn't mean that I want to stop making content or interacting with you guys and doing all kinds of things. I love doing this, and I still want to make it bigger and better and all of that sort of thing as much as I can, grandiose ambition and all that. It's still very much there. And so things need to change. Going forward, there needs to be a different kind of content coming out of me about BPD, MPD, mental health in general. It's all important to talk about stuff, and this is one of the few places in the world where we can totally do that. And so I think what we're going to see going forward is a lot more emphasis on live streams for a start, because being able to directly interact with an audience is fantastic as a content creator. It's so much fun, it's so much better to do, and you get not just instant feedback on what you're doing, but you can talk to your audience about what they're going through, which in a mental health setting is really important to be able to do. And I really enjoy doing all the live streams, as much as I might moan sometimes and that sort of thing, but they're great fun, and so there's going to be a lot more live stream content. There'll still be sort of regular videos-ish, and regular as in the sort of along the similar lines to how they have been since forever from me. Sort of chosen subjects, things I want to talk about in particular, that sort of thing, but they're not going to be as important, or I'm not going to be making as many of those going forward, because like I say, I've said a lot of this stuff. I don't have anything else to add to having a favorite person, or, you know, the blanket of sadness or whatever. I can still talk about these concepts in general, but I don't need to go over them again and again and again. At least not for a while. So it's much more fun. It's much easier to do. It's better for you guys, I think, to a certain extent, if we can have some sort of interaction and do live back and forth, and I can talk to you and you can ask me questions and I can answer those questions, and we can hang out and build this sort of community of people who would like to get better. Because you see, the problem you have when you make content based around a sort of, not just a mental health difficulty, but any sort of difficulty, is that it can keep you trapped in it. You know, a famous case on YouTube is people who do weight loss channels, right? You start off a very obese person and you decide, you know, we're going to do fitness, we're going to do dieting, I'm going to cover all of that on my channel. But then you start to lose weight and you're not an obese person anymore, and suddenly you are moving away from fat loss and weight loss and that sort of thing, and your content becomes a bit of a prison. And there are cases of people sort of stopping the weight loss so that they can keep doing weight loss content, which is unhealthy, you know. And this is the same sort of thing. I don't want to stay wrapped up in BPD and NPD as much as I have been, because I am getting better and moving away from it. But I can still talk to you guys about it. I can still talk about what I learned and how I got out of it, and what I continue to do to keep myself out of it as much as possible, and what I do at the times when I fall back in. There's lots of stuff to cover. And I like being able to do this while talking to you about it and interacting with you about it and that sort of thing. The other thing I want to do is, I toyed around with the idea of starting another channel. And I talked about this, I think, on a live feed when I last did a live feed, week before last, about a sort of things to look forward to concept. And I'm still very much into this idea, and it's going to be implemented in a slightly different way than I originally expected, because I don't want to go too far from where we are now, really. The aim is now it won't be a separate channel. What I want to start doing is just creating slightly different types of content, as I'm saying, you know, with the live feeds, with less frequent videos, but with also this new stuff and other stuff coming in the future. Is sort of do it within the Early Morning Barking channel. I don't want to give you something that is way out there and is going to be irritating and annoying and not what we signed up for and that sort of thing. Everything is going to be based around a mental health, self-improvement, recovery, support kind of attitude. And the idea of taking this thing that is about stuff to look forward to, a very positive thing, that's the whole point of it. I want to do something upbeat, positive, happy stuff. That's so a mental health thing. It belongs as part of Early Morning Barking. It's not a separate thing. It's not something different. And the people that I want to talk to or hear from, you know, are people that are like me, who suffer and struggle with things that make them happy, and they have those things that make them happy. They're the kind of people I want to talk to about this sort of thing, and that, you know, ties me still deeper in to the greater YouTube mental health community kind of area. And so this is definitely more Early Morning Barking content, just of a different form, because I'm done with the wallowing, and I'm done with the wallowers. I'm done with the accounts, the channels and that are all about the pain that we feel. Yes, we feel this pain, but we're not to stay in it. And staying in it is a choice, because there is a path out of it, and we can be shown that path. I can show you the path I took, you know, and I'm not the only one. There are other people out there trying to do what I'm trying to do from the angle that I'm trying to do it. But it's not the norm. It's not what's common, and I can't become that. And I'm in danger of becoming that if I start just talking about the pain. When you have BPD, it's so hard to do all these things, and this hurts day to day, and that thing hurts day to day. And yes, it does. It's fine. I get that. But I've pointed that all out now. Everybody has pointed that all out now. That has been done. If you want to know what it's like living with BPD day to day, or BPD and MPD, whatever, I've done that video. It's there. The information is there. You just need to go look for it now. So I'm not making it over and over again. I'm not doing that. That's silly. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of your time. So we're going to look to getting better, healing, that kind of support. And I think based on that as well, there's going to be a lot more steps to the Living with BPD course and other things to go along with that as well. All I can say at this point is, thank you for sticking with me this far. Things are not over. Things are not going away. We're going to take a little turn in direction, just a slight little bend. And I think it's going to be far more positive and enable me to keep going further and longer and be happier doing this. Not just actually in terms of getting to work, but just as a person as well, being happier and doing this. It's going to help me a lot. And I think that going forward, a change in that approach, emphasis more on much more upbeat support, recovery-based content, which is what I want to do. And a lot more on the course, a lot of other courses as well. There's a lot of stuff in my mind that needs to come out. And I've been sort of stunting myself with this pressure that I've been putting on to come out with a regular, this is how BPD feels, or when the narcissist does this kind of video, all the stuff that I've been making for years. The pressure on that stunts me doing other things. And even when I get stuck and no content comes out at all, the fact that I've spent all that time and energy dealing with that has stopped other things. So I need to just be able to put it to one side and continue with this other better stuff. So I guess at a certain point, I'm also telling me as well as you, I'm saying, look, we're going to stop worrying about this content that has become so hard to make and jump on this new content that is happier, easier, and much more positive and a much better influence into the world, because that's what I'd rather do and what makes me feel good and helps and makes what I do some sort of force for good in the universe, which I would rather have. So, wow, that took me a long time to explain that to you. But I hope you understand. I hope that makes sense. I hope to see you there in the future, and I hope to see you on live stream so we can come and chat. And I'm going to be doing those all over the place. I say this as, a matter of course because everyone says it, but it's really important. Go and follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, and make sure alerts are turned on here at YouTube, even Twitch as well. Because there's going to be piles of content coming. It's just going to kind of be all over the place in different forms, that sort of thing. And I'm going to try and get it all correlated in one place as much as I can. But, you know how these things go. It's difficult. Visit earlymorningbarking.com. There are links there to everything that I do, every account, every social, everything that you want to know about me is on there. And you'll find links to it all on there. So go and check that out. Make sure you follow me. You've got alerts turned on, and we'll hang out. We'll have a great time. We'll talk some mental health. We'll fix some problems maybe. Hopefully talk through some issues. Share some pain. Cry and laugh together. Because I'm done with the boring, maudling old stuff. So that's the thing. So you take care, and I will see you there. Bye-bye.